Welcome to the Malware Attack Vectors and Methods lesson. Click Next to get started. After completing this lesson, you will be able to achieve these objectives. Distinguish the difference between an attack vector and an attack surface. Describe the three components of an attack vector. Describe examples of attack vector malware and its mechanisms. What is an attack vector? An attack vector, also known as a threat vector, is a method that a bad actor uses to illegally access or inhibit a network, system, or facility. An attack vector can refer either to a specific method of attack or to a category of attack. For example, social engineering is a category of attack vector, and it consists of many attack types. As you saw in a previous lesson, bad actors can tailgate to access restricted areas, or spearfish a user to exploit their network privileges. Remember that an attack vector has three components: a vulnerability, a mechanism, and a pathway. The pathway enables a mechanism to access the target. Learning the difference between an attack vector and an attack surface is also important. While an attack vector is the method used to attack a target, an attack surface represents the total number of entry points that the vector creates to gain unauthorized access to the target. In addition, the attack surface can expand or contract due to circumstances. In this graphic, the targeted person is the attack surface and is exposed to various assassination methods. The entire individual is the attack surface. The person could reduce their vulnerability or attack surface by wearing a helmet and Kevlar vest. In another example, a password policy requirement is a factor in the attack surface. More stringent password requirements cause the attack surface to contract, and lenient requirements cause the attack surface to expand. One of the objectives of IT security is to reduce the attack surface of the network. Although attack vectors can be physical or electronic, this lesson focuses on only attack vectors involving malware. Social engineering attacks infect computers with different types of malware, as seen in the previous lesson. The following are two examples of malware attack vectors. Watering holes are pathways that bridge mechanisms to vulnerabilities. For example, a bad actor compromises a digital meeting place. Users are more vulnerable to manipulation in a familiar environment, such as a social media site. So they're more likely to click on links or download an amusing cat video that serves as a Trojan horse for malware. Malware takes control of a computer, making it into a robot, or bot for short. Another term for bot is zombie. The bad actor controls the computer using a command and control, CNC, server, which sends commands to systems compromised by bot malware and then receives stolen data. A collection of computers controlled by a CNC server is called a botnet. Botnets can have many purposes. For example, to harvest information from infected machines, to send spam and phishing emails, or to attack web services. An attack by a botnet against a server with the intent of making it inaccessible is known as a distributed denial of service, DDoS, attack. In this case, the mechanism of the attack vector is the botnet. The pathway is the internet, and the vulnerability is the targeted server. When a bad actor finds a pathway to a vulnerability, they can install malware or deploy a malicious mechanism. Here are some examples of clandestine mechanisms and exploitation methods used by bad actors. A backdoor is an unauthorized way of gaining access to a computer. A logic bomb is a piece of malicious code left lying in wait on a computer that will execute under specific conditions. An Easter egg is a hidden feature or piece of code left behind by developers. In some cases, an Easter egg can leave your network and data exposed to bad actors. Droppers are programs designed to extract other files from their own code. Typically, droppers extract several files onto a computer to install a malicious program package. Droppers can also have other functions. A downloader is a type of Trojan horse that installs itself on a computer and waits until an internet connection becomes available to connect to a remote server or website. It then downloads additional programs, usually malware, onto the infected computer. Shellcode is a set of instructions in software that execute a command to take control of or exploit a compromised computer. Code injection is the term used to describe attacks that inject code into an application. The injected code is interpreted by the application, changing the way a program executes. Code injection attacks typically exploit an application vulnerability that allows the processing of invalid data. You have completed this lesson. You are now able to distinguish the difference between an attack vector and an attack surface. Describe the three components of an attack vector. Describe examples of attack vector malware and its mechanisms.